Well, I guess the question now is, will Shiki return to his daily life, or will he go chasing after Arcueid? I wake up in a daze. The arm stretched out over my glasses was faintly heavy. Oh, this is a slight fever, I thought to myself as if it were someone else, and put on my glasses. Yeah, that tends to happen when you stare at the lines of death, I guess. You start getting a quote-unquote fever. Even though my vision had returned to normal, I still felt mildly dizzy. It resembled the symptoms of a cold, but this was a fever specific to the morning. It's like putting a stuck engine on the fire to warm it up, and it will go away in time. There was a knock on the door. After a short wait. Excuse me. Hisui bowed and walked in. Good morning, Hisui, and thank you again this morning. Good morning, Shiki-sama. I see you are awake. Oh, I slept very well last night. I'll go to the dining room as soon as I get dressed. Yeah, he says cafeteria, but I feel like he means to say like dining room or something. Kohaku has a bit of a fever, so please tell him the dose is smaller. Very well, sir. I'm not sure what he was talking about with that. I don't know if he meant to say he had a fever, because we know he was saying he had a fever. Or, you know, he had some kind of a fever, not that Kohaku has one. Do I need a thermometer? I don't need it. It's just the usual slight fever anyway. I think he was talking about Kohaku giving him medicine or something, medicine for his fever. Then change here. I'll be waiting for you in the cafeteria. Maybe I could just call it the cafeteria, not the dining room. Hisui bowed and left the room. I don't know if it's because of my heart, but my bowing was a little less sharp than usual. It's not as proper as it should be. I wonder if she's worried about me, but this kind of thing really happens all the time. I appreciate the sentiment, but it's nothing to fuss about anymore. And by unavoidably important, I mean... And it's called something like that, something that is seriously injured from every angle. But there's really no duct tape, is there? It made my blood boil when I saw it. If I see it again... I was about to say that, but my words trailed off. There will be no more next time. We'll never run into each other again. Yeah, that's what you think. There was no way I was going to get involved with such a dangerous woman. But you did, though. Yes, it has to be good. I swallowed the obvious fact. Today is Monday. It was a good start to the week, just right for a fresh start. Today will be like every other day, surely. Nothing bad will happen. I washed my face and got ready before entering the living room. Akiha was sitting on the couch. It was just 7 a.m., but they had already had breakfast and were enjoying a cup of tea. Oh, good morning, brother. You're early this morning. Akiha was in a good mood, probably happy that I was up early. Good morning, Akiha. You're always early. But I suddenly felt dizzy and pressed my eyes shut. Still, the dizziness wouldn't go away. I'm not sure if it's me, but my body temperature is going up. Brother? I don't remember this from the original game. I do remember him having the, what were they calling it? Inversion impulse. Him feeling the things that Roa or the other Shiki was feeling. But I don't know, and I think that did make him sick. So maybe that's what this is. I heard the faint rustle of clothing and the sound of approaching footsteps. What's wrong? Your face is red. Do you have a fever? Oh, no. I have a fever, sure, but... Akiha approaches me without hesitation and peers at my face from below. Funny. For some reason, when I look at Akiha, I feel like I'm getting more and more giddy. That's a strange feeling to have looking at your sister. You seem to have a bit of a fever. Did you use your blanket properly last night? I'm sure you were just upset because of the change in environment, but just in case. Please wait there, brother. I'll call Kohaku now and we'll take your temperature before breakfast. Akiha turned her gaze to the lobby. She was probably going to call Kohaku-san, who was preparing breakfast in the kitchen. I took that opportunity to look away from Akiha. After all, it was the only thing that made my dizziness go away. It's okay, Akiha. I don't need you to call Kohaku. I just woke up and I'm not feeling well, so don't worry about it. I can't leave you alone if you're not feeling well. What if it's just a cold? Even a minor illness is important to you. Your immunity and resistance are lower than others. I guess this is her dare side she's finally showing us. Akiha put her hand on my forehead in disgust. I felt the cold, delicate palm of her hand, which made my neck tingle. For a moment, I stopped breathing completely. Akiha is right. There is something wrong with me this morning. I'm not sure why, but I'm curious about Akiha's every move. Just watching the gesture raises my body temperature. If she were to touch it directly, I would feel dizzy and could collapse. Brother? Isn't that pretty hot? I feel like Akiha's voice is resonating directly in my brain, not in my ears. I'm wondering if he's feeling the same way as he did when he was about to kill Arcueid. This is not good. The beautiful black hair and white ceramic skin seemed to flow directly into my head as if it were heat. Oh no. This is kind of how he was talking when he was about to kill her too. This is a bad idea. This is only for now. I'm simply tired and my health is not stable. So for now anyway, before I make a colossal mistake in front of Akiha. Yeah, I'm not really sure what he's about to do here. Okay, I just remembered something. I brushed off Akiha's hand and took off running like a rabbit. Shiki-sama? Breakfast will be in about 5 minutes. Well, thank you. Where's my bag? Here's your bag. As expected of Hisui, she is well prepared. I thanked her and took the bag from Hisui. I'm off. You don't have to see me off. Yep, just run right to school. Wait for me. What are you doing with a fever? First of all, no running in the hallway and listening to your sister is the rule of the house. Please stay in the living room so I can take your temperature. Perhaps to stop me, Akiha was waiting for me in the lobby. But as she said, she just came to the lobby for not running in the hallway. Sorry, I'll follow the rules later. My fever's down and I'm going to school like this. I'll manage breakfast on my own. You'll just have to tolerate me this morning. I'll take care of it. Hey, brother! Wait a minute, what's the hurry? A rule that you follow later is not a rule at all. I ran through the front door and out the door to escape Akiha's petulance. In my heart, I said to Akiha, I'm sorry. I appreciate that you're worried about my health. No, as a matter of fact, I feel like I'm going to collapse from dizziness when I look at Akiha. There was no way I could say that, and I wondered what kind of repercussions awaited me if I did. The funny thing is that we know Akiha is keeping secrets of her own, so, you know, I don't think she would react as badly as Shiki might think. But we don't learn that until the Far Side routes. I took a deep breath and finally calmed down. It's safe to come this far. Akiha wouldn't be so childish as to chase after her brother who ran off to go to school. But it's typical of Akiha that her reason for being angry is about the rules. I'm not so sure about that. I feel like that's just an excuse, to be honest. He chuckles, remembering his earlier line. Even though she is my sister, I still don't know if her emotional boiling point is low or high. I'm going to stop at the convenience store. I don't have a lot of money in my wallet, but I'll take some light nourishment. I resent the fact that I have an appetite on days like this. Normally, I wouldn't mind skipping breakfast, but this morning I was just so hungry. Hungry for blood. I bought a loaf of bread to tide me over until lunch. Back to the normal days. Go to school, have anemia, pass out from anemia, think about maybe killing your sister. A stop at the convenience store would only take a few minutes of my time. I arrived at school about half an hour earlier than usual. Uniforms on the sidewalk were sparse. In another 10 minutes, the main gate would be crowded with students, but right now there were only 2 or 3 people walking around, including myself. There was no sign of the beautiful woman who was sitting on the guardrail, waiting for someone, just like that time. In the schoolyard, the athletic club was in the middle of their morning practice. With that in my side, I headed for the elevator. I like to move my body, it makes me feel alive, but I couldn't join the club. I'm a chronic anemic, so I don't want to be a nuisance to others when I need to be, and my doctor is adamant that I refrain from excessive exercise. During my freshman year, I had the opportunity to be invited to participate in club activities. Each time, I refused, saying maybe next time. Every time I did, I felt an inexplicable gap between us. That one, after all. I guess he subconsciously sensed that he couldn't mix with the other side no matter what, and he was defending himself. Cut up the boring sentimentality. In the middle of the day, I cheered for my friends who were working hard in their clubs and turned to go to the school building. Oh dear, good morning, Shiki-kun. Aren't you early this morning? Yes, I got the time wrong. Good morning, Noelle-sensei. On my way to the classroom, I bumped into Noelle-sensei. Like me, she didn't expect anyone to be there at such an early hour, and Noelle-sensei was a bit plain. If you get the time wrong, you're not late, you're early. Shiki-kun is such a diligent person. I think young people today should take it easier. I'm taking it easy enough. I don't even like to study. More importantly, I'd like to talk to you about my truancy on Friday. Oh, that. Don't worry, I didn't call your house. A boycott of just one day is commonplace. It would have been more convenient for Shiki too, wouldn't it? Noelle smiled a meaningful chuckle and said something unbecoming of a teacher. She's that, cool, down-to-earth teacher. That would be helpful. The reason why Akihao wasn't too upset was because my truancy on Friday hadn't come out yet. Yeah, I guess if that came to light, she would be a lot angrier. Nevertheless, isn't Noelle's educational policy a little too generous? Oh, Shiki, you're so hard-headed. It's not that the teacher is unserious, she respects her students' autonomy. Because everyone looks so young and delicious, I think it's inevitable that we should stretch ourselves and go out for a day or so. Okay, her saying that first part makes me really concerned. No, it's not like we were playing or anything. I mean, what else would you do if you were skipping school? Oh, I'm just kidding. I know. It's the anemia, isn't it? I'm sure the serious Shiki would never play with fire. So, are you okay with your body? Are there any sore spots left? I was seriously worried about it. The truth is that Noelle-sensei's joke is exactly on target, but I don't dare correct her. The anemia is manageable. I'm feeling especially good this morning. Yeah, at least after, you were about to kill your sister or do something to your sister. Yes, that's good. Then you can go back to your carefree student life from today. By the way, I heard that you have chronic anemia, but how long have you had this condition? Was it something you were born with? What? It's not something I was born with. I had an accident when I was a child, and ever since then. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. That's why you stopped exercising and why your appetite faded. So, what was it like? What? I couldn't help but raise my voice at the unintelligible question. Also, that expression she's giving us, That's so strange. Like, I feel like we need to file some sexual harassment charges here. Noelle Sensei would lick her lips with her tongue as she applied the lipstick. Wait, she's applying lipstick in front of us? So I asked you what kind of accident it was. You were injured so badly that your body went crazy, weren't you? It was still very painful, and you were so scared that you were crying out, weren't you? That's right, I was so scared that I would die and be reborn. Okay, Noelle says some strange things to us. It gives me an unspeakable chill. Not because of Noelle Sensei's insensitive remarks. I've known since my first day at the school that this teacher is a curious or rather airheaded person. I don't want to say anything because I couldn't remember anything about the accident. Yeah, Shiki was just told he was in a quote-unquote car accident. It was just an accident. It's not a big deal. I think it's time to go, so if you'll excuse me. I bowed to Noelle Sensei and walked past her. Shiki-kun? I turn around when she calls my name. If you're feeling well, you better start today. It's better for your health if you don't go AWOL any longer. The returnee from France winked at me and headed for the staff room. Okay, so Noelle is French. I think they implied before, or they said before that Noelle was from France, or that she was French. I thought I would be the first to arrive, but I saw several of my classmates in the classroom. You're early, Tono. What happened to you on Friday? Good morning. I wasn't feeling well on Friday. Are you done with your morning training? Yeah. Not only after school club activities, but we're also being asked to hold back on morning practice. We've just replaced the captain, and we can't get control like this, you know? Was the athletic department, which seemed to be operating normally, also affected by the vampire incident? Well, it was something that kind of affected the entire city. I mean, the whole city almost burned down, so I would imagine so. Well, it's just a matter of time. The incident will fade away soon, and the club activities will return to normal. I wonder how they're going to try to explain this to normal people, like, oh hey, it was some kind of a terrorist attack or some massive fire. 5 minutes before homeroom. And so, I chewed on the happiness of an uneventful day of classes. Yoo-hoo, slacker! Ohio, good morning! Yeah, you know who it is. A voice called out from behind me, ruining my morning moment. Good morning, delinquent. Nice to see you were AWOL on Friday. Thanks to this morning I was able to get another round of... What, did you sleep in on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday? I'm not sick, and I'm not poor. I just happened to feel sick on Friday, but I recovered when I got home. It was too much trouble, so I missed school. Really? I'm going to be a member of the aristocracy in just 3 days, living a relaxed and unway life in that gorgeous mansion? I don't know if it's because they're as thick-skinned as ever, or it's because they're highly adaptable, but Tono really is a city where you live. Yeah, I'm really jealous. Okay, what is going on with his face? He looks like a JoJo character now. Arihiko shows a tremendous amount of strength. This man's rebellious spirit is something to be learned from. I'm telling you, I'm not used to this. You haven't seen how big that house is? Arihiko, do you know about the Tono mansion? No, I don't know. It's so high up and surrounded by fences and woods, right? You can't see it unless you go inside the property. No, I want to see it because I'm a toothless turtle. But you know, your house has great security, right? Oh no, Keiko-san said that there are several burglars a year, but the police have never rushed to the Tono residence. You've never heard of a burglary at the mansion on the hill, have you? Oh, that's... A few times a year, bandits break in and the police don't show up. Isn't that dangerous? It's like an anthill, isn't it? What? Where? Since they're catching the thieves before the police can get there, isn't their security superior rather than vulnerable? No, that's why. I'm sure you haven't been outside in the first place, that thief. I see. Then no rumors will spread. We nodded at each other with straight faces. It was horrible to think about this topic any further, so we decided to switch topics as fast as we could. So, basically there's been a lot of robberies in town? Oh yeah, have you seen the scene of Saturday's accident? The big fire in front of the North Station. I heard it was a fire that broke out in the basement. No, I haven't seen it yet. I've only heard stories though. Look, there was a department store at the north exit before it was renovated. The park that used to be in front of the department store has all caved in underground. It's going to take a year to put it back together. But it's not all bad. With all the security guards and TV stations, the newcomers at the north entrance have gone underground. I see. So what about the hotel at Kurigale Bridge Station? The hotel in Anagobashi is that dome hotel. Oh, I remember there was a fire there too. I forgot about it because the north entrance was so badly damaged. You can't blame Arihiko for being frivolous. Even though so many people had been burned to death in the incident, to Arihiko it was the story of a neighboring town. In this age of daily news updates, no matter how painful the event, it is overwritten and consumed by the next horrific news. That's a little bit too realistic, isn't it? There's just terrible news one after the other, and just, you know, the last tragedy is easily forgotten and replaced by a new one. I'm not sure what to make of this. What about you? Tono has had anemia since middle school, but he never missed a day of school. You've had a few instances where you left the moment you got to school. It's kind of like that. I went to school until I got to the intersection, where I got sick and left. Well, that's more like a half-truth. You and Yumizuka have been behaving badly lately, haven't you? I'm not denying that you have a bad background, but Yumizuka-san, what's wrong? She's been absent since Thursday. She didn't show up this morning either. She's been an honor student for a long time, so she might have been overwhelmed, but she said she couldn't go up because it was a pretend hand. So Yumizuka's been missing. That's not good. Arihiko's metaphors are rather unique. Oops, that's it for me. Farewell, and good luck with your studies after skipping Friday. Arihiko hurriedly left the classroom. I think I'm going to hide in the infirmary. I heard that it was his turn to boycott class today. Or, oh, I guess he meant Arihiko is going to hide in the infirmary. And as soon as lunchtime came around, Arihiko Inoue appeared with a yawn as if to say, I just woke up. Well, I slept well. Tono, let's eat. That's it. I would like to hypothesize that there are only 3 major needs in that cranium. I'm not sure if it's okay that I'm bothering you. Isn't having lunch with your senpai your favorite thing? What? Lunch with a senior? Arihiko frowned as if he had bitten down on a bitter bug. Apparently, he was rejected by his senior again today. I keep thinking this senior must be CL. We haven't really seen much of CL, actually. I'm wondering if we're going to see more of her in this day. I had lunch with Arihiko. Arihiko had slept well in the infirmary. Searching for a Soya station on... I don't see any new developments. With his mobile device in hand, he was busy gathering information. He said a 4-hour delay from the public is nothing short of a mortal wound. I guess in a place like Japan, having delays is pretty catastrophic. It could be seen as an addiction to the internet, but in his case, it's different from other students. For Arihiko, information about the area around Soya Station is not just a personal pastime. He is always looking for tools to survive in the downtown area at night, so to speak, to find out what his weapon of choice will be tonight. Another standard convenience store cash register robbery. Shopkeeper stabbed in the abdomen with a knife and seriously injured. Perpetrator is an alcoholic. Wow, that hurts. You can't talk to drunk people. I guess mail order is the only way to shop. Arihiko ate a set meal while operating his cell phone with one hand. The culture of fathers reading the newspaper at mealtime is thus switched to the latest. No, I don't care about such modern criticism. Arihiko, do you enjoy reading out that kind of news at mealtime? It's no fun, but I have to show my dumb friend who doesn't care about the world what's going on. Tono-kun, are you listening to me? The North Exit is collapsing. Drunks are stabbing people. There are street thugs killing random people. And it's not like I'm a stranger to this, you know. That's for sure. But street crimes don't happen anymore. There's nothing we can do about the accident at the North Exit. But other than that, it's just business as usual. Really? Did they catch a street thief? No, I don't think they caught him, but... That criminal is no longer with us. That's why modern-day vampires are never in the news for their mundane beginnings, nor are someone killed for no reason. Anyway, it seems that there won't be any more incidents like that, no more casualties. The city is back to normal. But I'm sure there will be casualties, Tono. I won't answer. How can you be so sure, Arihiko? Because, hey, it's on the news now that the 9th body was found this morning. Arihiko shows me the screen of his mobile device. Huh? I can't believe my eyes. The website that collects the latest news did indeed have new information on the blood-sucking murder case, starting with an overhead photo of the north exit of Soya Station. Really? Isn't this the back of the movie theater we always go to? Wait, let me see it again closely. I borrowed Arihiko's cell phone. This is not a demagoguery by amateurs, nor is it a hypothesis based on speculation. The screen clearly showed the official statement from the police that there had been a 9th victim of a street murder last night. Oh, no. It was just too much for me to say. Vlav is dead. I killed him with my own hands. How can you find a corpse that has had a lot of blood drained from it? But modern-day vampires, huh? If it was a beautiful woman, I wouldn't mind being sucked dry. I would have to agree. I don't think I'd mind too much. A beautiful vampire. Arihiko's lightheaded remarks sent a chill down my spine. I don't mind being sucked off if you're a beautiful woman. That can be taken a few different ways. That crap is no joke to me. The case is not over yet. The new victims showed that the vampires are alive and well. It's by simple process of elimination. Vlav is gone. So, the other vampire left. Oh, he's thinking it must be her. The day's classes were over and it was after school. No, I should say that before I knew it, it was after school. All I could think about was bad thoughts, and before I knew it, the classroom was empty. The street murders are still going on. I don't even need to think about what that originally meant. But that girl said she had never killed a human being before. I just can't believe that she was lying. Either the news is wrong, or the only person who knows the answer is Arcueid herself. If I could just find that girl and see her again, I'm sure everything would be cleared up. I'll try her apartment. That's the only place you know she could be. It's because I don't know who I am. I had nothing to do with that incident anymore. I came back to my routine when I settled with Vlav. I have fulfilled my responsibility. I believe I have. So there is no reason. There's no reason for me to enter such an abnormal world if I don't want to. I should just pretend that I didn't notice anything and go home without thinking about it. I'm leaving it like this. That's probably the second most correct choice. But I was taught long ago to make the first choice. Life is full of pitfalls for any human being. You have the power to manage them, so you should be more shrewd. Yeah, You can't just choose to do nothing. Those words saved my life. I came to be. Then I can't just turn a blind eye to this. The case is not over yet. Once he got involved, Tonoshiki was doomed to not be able to escape this trouble until the end of his life. Yeah, you're right about that. I thought we would actually make a choice, but I guess we really don't have one. I left school. I don't have many clues, but I do have a key to the apartment that she gave me that I never returned. Let's go to the apartment for now. Yeah, that's the only place she could possibly be, or, I mean, I don't know where else she could be. And it's empty. Not here. The apartment was still there, but there was no sign of Arcueid. At least there are traces of her here. I patted my chest, relieved that everything hadn't gone up in smoke. I didn't expect to get her that easily. Anyway, we have to act now. Even if we wait here, there's no guarantee that she will come back. I'll have to go out into the city and look for her at random, just like I did when I first saw her. And then we come across Mio again. The sun was setting and the city was turning into the face of night in earnest. I looked around in the main area, but couldn't even find a glimpse of Arcueid. How come I can't find her at times like this when she's just wandering around when I don't care? What do I do? Oh boy, choice time. Let's go back to the mansion and sort it out. No, let's not give up. Let's go around the city. I feel like option 2 is the one we should go with here. Okay, well actually, like I said before guys, I am referring to a walkthrough here. We should go back to the mansion. I was just going to look around the city, but I guess looking around the city would be too dangerous. Especially at night, so I guess that makes sense. Shouldn't look around the city at night, you might get attacked. The time was 7 o'clock in the evening. And also, if we didn't go back to the mansion, then we'd probably get scolded by Akiha. It's a national highway with very little traffic to begin with, but at night it's completely deserted and the surrounding area is quiet. I thought about pressing the doorbell to have it unlocked, but it was just before dinner. Kohaku-san and Hisui were probably in the kitchen, and I didn't feel comfortable interrupting them. Using the card key, I went through the door next to the main gate. Oh. When? As I stood in the doorway, I remembered the exchange we had this morning. Oh, another choice. Okay. You're not a child. You're an adult. You're not a child. Well, I'm not a child. I'm an adult. I can take care of myself. Thank you very much. Yeah, isn't this just the same choice? No, I'm not a kid. I thought you'd have calmed down by now, as expected. Akiha yelled at me because I ran in the hallway and didn't get checked out. Neither is enough to drag me through the night. I can't properly talk about the situation, but if I tell them I'm sorry, Akiha will be able to accommodate me. Yes, she's become strongly strict, but if you talk to her, you'll find out that she's still Akiha. Let's tell them we're back first. After that, I can plan countermeasures to search for Arcueid until the lights go out at the mansion, and then sneak out to the city. I'm home. I swallowed as much as I could and entered the lobby. What is it? I hear talking from the living room. It's just before dinner. The voice from the living room seems a little unnatural. Oh no. Is it, what's his name? Like Saiki Ryoto? I think it's like Saiki Ryoto. Kohaku is probably in the kitchen, and I don't think Hisui is the person to have a conversation with Akiha. Well, the only other person it could be is Dr. Arak. Dr. Arak? I wonder if Akiha is having tea with Kohaku. Or do you have other guests? Anyway, I headed to the living room to check on her, and... Just then, Hisui came out of the living room. Instead of hearing my voice and coming to greet me, her expression seemed strangely cloudy. I know I'm late, but I'm back, Hisui. Is Hisui actually angry? What the... Hisui looks at me with a blank expression. There was no welcome home as usual. What's up? I don't know if it's my imagination, but you look angry. I have a visitor for you, Shiki. Oh no. Oh wait, it's Arcueid. I remember this part. I think I just spoiled it for people. Okay, yeah. It's Arcueid. She's been waiting in the living room for a while now, so please hurry. I have a guest? Yes, Hisui nodded. That's funny. There's no one who comes to visit me. The only person who knows that I've moved is Arihiko, and I haven't met anyone else lately. No, wait. I have an incredibly bad feeling about this, as you should. Hisui, what's that? It's a beautiful woman with golden hair. What? Hisui's explanation was very straightforward. Reflexively and automatically, I was running to the demon's living room with the fastest footsteps possible. running to the demon's lair. What the hell is going on? I opened the door with all my might and went inside. But it was too late for anything else. The situation had taken an uncontrollable and alarming turn. Oh my, welcome back, brother. It's late again tonight, as is customary. Oh, he's finally back, this guy. You made your sister and me wait for you. You're really arrogant. Oh no. They both look at me with opposite expressions. I know this feeling. I think it's the same as the feeling you often see in movies of soldiers being told, try begging for your life with a muzzle pressed to the back of your head. Yeah, it sounds about right. So, I don't have the time to reply with witty words. Of all places, Arcueid and Akiha are facing each other. Arcueid was unconcerned, and Akiha was equally unconcerned, sitting on the couch. However, unlike the natural nature of Arcueid, Akiha's attitude was clearly hostile towards Arcueid. Akiha glances over at me. What's the matter, brother? Don't just stand there. Please come over here and sit down. No, I can't. I can't go near the sofa, because I feel like I'll be tossed with a knife as soon as I get close to it. Here is fine. More importantly, Akiha, this is the girl who's... Well, how can I explain it? There was no way that I could say that I was classmates with her at school, and the fact that we met on the street seemed to add fuel to the fire. What's that? Akiha's relentless gaze pierced me. Yeah, I feel like there's nothing I can say in this situation, but I have to come up with an excuse that won't hurt anyone, and especially won't threaten my peace. I'm not sure if this is a good idea, but what was the purpose of the vampire woman smiling so indifferently at me in the first place? She's just enjoying this. It's a little hard to imagine Akiha letting a complete stranger into her living room, don't you think? But first, let me tell you something. What's this girl been saying? Arcueid nodded her head curiously. Are you sure you're not a friend of brother's? She called herself that. Oh yeah, speaking of friends. I see. I'd be happy if you introduced her to me as well. If you're a friend of my brother's, I can't just ask you to leave. Well, you see, Akiha, I slurred my words quite a bit. Friends, huh? And, as if she couldn't take it anymore after being ignored, Arcueid interrupted the conversation between the two siblings. I'm still in pain, you know. What? Oh no. Crap. So this is what the world calls dizziness. I can't get enough of this intoxicating sensation of leaving reality at an incredible rate. What does that mean? What does it mean that my brother has harmed you, physically or mentally? Excuse me, but do you realize how unreliable your statements are? Yes, it's perfect, but don't worry, I don't care about that anymore. I'm not worried about it anymore. So please don't mind me. I just came to ask Shiki out. I'll be out in a minute. Isn't that right, Shiki? Oh no. Akiha looks like she's gonna kill somebody. It's not good. If I let her say any more, it will be Tonoshiki's downfall. Laughing in desperation, I ran at Arcueid and grabbed her arm forcefully. Hey Shiki, what are you doing all of a sudden? I can't afford to listen to you complain. I tugged on Arcueid's arm and ran out of the living room, leaving a stunned Akiha behind. Hisui was waiting for me in the lobby. I wonder how Hisui feels when she sees me running with Arcueid in tow. Thinking about it might make a hole in my stomach, so I'll try not to think about it right now. Going out, Shiki-sama? Reluctantly, I'm terribly sorry, but I need you to leave the front door unlocked. Yes, I understand. Please be very careful. Well, at least Hisui is understanding. I ran past Hisui, who bowed condescendingly, and ran out of the house as if to escape. That's probably the best thing he could have done in that scenario. I thought we were actually going to make a choice about how to deal with that. What the hell? I think Shiki doesn't have the common sense to take me out of the house so suddenly. It was the best line I've ever heard on Earth. What do you think you're doing? It's insane that you're coming straight to my house. Are you trying to ruin my life, you idiot? You're making me look like an idiot. I'm calling a fool a fool. What else is there to call a fool, fool? If you've got something to say, I'm all ears, so say it. What? My head was at a complete boil. I've never been in such an incomprehensible situation before, and I feel like I have to complain head-on about whatever it is I'm dealing with. What? I came to see you, Shiki. I don't think I did anything to make you so angry. Are you serious, Arcueid, that you're just here to see me? Yeah, I know, but what? There's nothing wrong with that, you know? I didn't use the magic eye, and I approached it in a very human way. I'm sure you'll be happy to know that I'm not the only one who's a vampire. You don't have to tell me that. You seem to have a lot of common sense when it comes to your side of the story, you know. I don't understand. Then why are you so angry, Shiki? Because you're too unthinking. Let's get straight to the point. Think about the eyes around you. Be aware of your features. For God's sake, act a little more quietly. You'll stand out just by being here. Oh my god, what the She turned into Neko Arc. At any rate, it felt good to say what I wanted to say. But this girl, who can say whatever she wants, is just the opposite. Arcueid glares at me sullenly, mooing like a cat. What's with all the selfishness? Why do you think I stand out just by being here? I look just like a human, don't I? A beautiful woman stands out just by being beautiful. It doesn't matter if she's human or not. I say back firmly. Arcueid seemed to be easily convinced, perhaps because of my lean reply. Well, we've said too much too. I've never been in a situation like this before, so I was really upset. It's fine. It's like I'm the one who was wrong. Arcueid nodded quite frankly. I feel guilty that I'm afraid that there's more to it than that. So, why did you come to my house? No, I wanted to talk to you too, so this is great. Is that so? I just came to see how Shiki was doing. Oh yeah, just curious. Next time, hide behind a tree or something and sneak over to take a look. Try not to let anyone find you. If possible, don't let me see you either. I'm just so tired. But, well, this isn't the first time I've been pushed around by her whims. She said she didn't tell Akiha about the situation, and I think she respects my position to a certain extent. Anyway, I need to talk to you about something serious. I don't feel comfortable here, so I'd like to change places if that's okay. Okay, but what's the story? You'll find out soon enough. Yeah, it's about to get less popular. Maybe we should go around the park. Let's go, I call out and start walking. Arcueid nodded her head and meekly followed me. What's the story, Shiki? Vampires. You said it before, didn't you? You said that the street murders that have been going around are the work of vampires. Yes, Arcueid nodded. So, did you hear about the new casualty on the news this morning? I heard he was killed by a street thief last night and they drained his blood. Oh god. The atmosphere changes. Arcueid's eyes narrowed. It was like stepping into what you thought was the ground, only to realize it was thin ice, and the tension was such that one wrong move could lead to death. So? So, you... I gulped and swallowed. Arcueid's gaze is straight on me. It's the kind of gaze that if I make even the slightest move, it will immediately pounce on me. That's funny, Arcueid. Vlav is dead, so why is there still a vampire scare? I don't think so, but that was you. If this is your handiwork, I mean, what can you do, Shiki? I mean, well, I guess he could he could kill her if he wanted to. If she was, I mean, well, the first time he caught her off guard, so I'm not so sure if he could do it now. Oh no, there's no way that's true anymore. It wasn't me, it was some other vampire. Jesus, how many other vampires are there, though? Easily releasing her tension, Arcueid replied immediately, as if dumbfounded. I stifle an unidentified joy in my throat. It's too early to be relieved. I like the idea of it being the work of another vampire, but there's something about that doesn't add up. The other vampires did this to me, one after another. Did a new vampire come along right after Vlav? No way. That case was the work of one vampire from the beginning. There are no new vampires coming to prey on this city, and Vlav had nothing to do with that incident. Even Vlav is not relevant? It doesn't matter. What does that mean? I meant exactly what I said. Already, Shiki seems to have a temper and is somewhat out of it. Okay, yes, Vlav was a vampire, but was he sucking human blood? Of course he was. He's been burning people all over the place. Yeah, I see. Why didn't I notice such a simple difference? The victims of the street murders were found as undamaged bodies after their blood had been drained. But Vlav is different. He burns the bodies. He sucked blood, but that wasn't his primary method of killing. In fact, the victims of the hotel were treated as casualties of the fire, not as murderers. Then, Vlav has absolutely no connection to the serial murders going on in the city. Wait. What's this blood-sucking murder thing then? Who the hell would do something like that? So that incident was the work of a vampire other than Vlav. I came to the city to kill that vampire. Wow, what a misunderstanding. We misunderstood this whole time. The reason Vlav came is getting a little fuzzy. I thought that he was one of the ones who came after me, but it seems that Vlav didn't have that much reason to cooperate in the Society of the Dead. Well, that's enough of that. Vlav is dead, you know. Anyway, Vlav and the vampires nesting in the city are not the same thing. Vlav is a genuine, unrelated third party. I didn't tell you that the target was Vlav, did I? For Vlav, the target was me. But for me, the only target is the vampire that is known as the street vampires in the city. Shiki, I don't think it's possible, but did you have a very simple misunderstanding? I gasped in horror. Ugh. But you're right. Arcueid is right. When I heard that Arcueid's goal was to kill vampires, I completely misunderstood and thought that this girl was there to defeat Vlav. What is it then? Are you saying that killing Vlav that night was pointless? It's not pointless. Shiki didn't fight on my behalf. But if only Shiki had killed me, there would be no need for that. I felt weak, like I was going to fall to my knees. But the fight that night was pointless. Killing Vlav hadn't solved anything. I wouldn't say it was pointless. I mean, you saved a lot more people from potentially being killed by Vlav. The vampire was still in town, and I was going to put the blame, if only temporarily, on this girl. No. Feelings of emptiness and self-loathing are circling around me. I'm sorry. I know I'm being persistent, but let me check one last time. So Vlav has nothing to do with the vampire murders, and it's just another vampire that's been roiling the city for the past month. Yeah, that's what I meant. But you don't have to worry about this, because it's a problem I'll take care of. That's not the point. Hey! Arcueid looks up at me with a smile on her face, looking rather happy. I'm telling you, I can't afford it. I'm not sure how I feel about it. If someone says something strange to me now, I feel like I'll fall off my feet. Just a question. The time we both beat Vlav. Hey, why was it 3 minutes? Why what? Shiki, you said we only have 3 minutes. I didn't understand why 3 minutes at all. You know what? I told you. That place is like the bottom of the ocean. That's why I said you only have 3 minutes. What? At the bottom of the ocean? That's 3 minutes? Good. If I had more energy, I would have said something back in no time. Well, yes. People, unlike you, can only stay underwater for so long. What? I was a little cold too. Even the bottom of the ocean would be boring after hours of diving. It was a little cold, or something like that. I thought I was going to die. What? Look down. What's wrong? No, I'm a little giddy. Don't worry about it. In fact, if you dive into the sea, even 3 minutes is doubtful. I'm not sure if I'll be able to do it. Vampires should play a game of endurance with other vampires. Holding my head, I brush Arcueid off with my hand. Well, I guess it's too late to tell. I know you're monsters. Look, I was an idiot about the Rove thing. I can tell Arcueid's getting angry. More importantly, Arcueid. I managed to calm myself down and looked up to resume our conversation. What's with that face? Arcueid? What's with the teasing, Shiki? I'm not human anyway. Arcueid turned away with a pout and began to stroll away. Hey, wait a minute. Where are you going? I don't care if you're human or not. Don't follow me. As if she was really upset, Arcueid went without looking back. I wonder where she's going. Maybe I stepped on a landmine. I don't know. Looking back, I may have treated it too wickedly. No, but I didn't say anything bad like that. I didn't say anything bad, did I? But I feel like it's my fault because she got so mad at me. I'm not sure what to do. I'm not sure what to say. Oh my god, I'm sorry. That was my bad. I said wait, stop. I rushed to chase after the white back. It was definitely not out of guilt for pissing her off. In the first place, we haven't even finished the important part of the story. Arcueid walks through the city at night. Without hesitation, a white shadow with fluttering golden hair. The figure is the same one I saw the first time. Or the way she looked when she was confronting Vlav in the collapsed rubble. The buoyant feeling I had earlier was fading away. I'm sure of it. That's the way a hunter should be. Arcueid. Arcueid walked away without looking back at me. Listen to me. Where do you think you're going? The white woman's steps did not stop. It would be a shame to back down here. It was pathetic, but I decided to follow her silently for now. Step, step. We continued our walk in silence, with only the sound of our footsteps. And, pausing, Arcueid turned around. Don't follow me. Can't you see how annoying it is to have a normal person like you around? I'm sorry I'm human. Just tell me what you're doing and I'll leave. It's none of Shiki's business, so leave me alone. With a puff of air, Arcueid began to walk forward. You're killing me. It looks like the silent wandering will begin again. If I remember correctly, I think this is the scene where they go into the back alley and fight the dead. Arcueid stopped in her tracks when she reached the bottom of an elevated railway line, away from the downtown area and less popular. I found it. Huh? Arcueid's voice was cold, like a different person. A shiver runs down my spine. Even from the back of my head, I can clearly feel how hostile Arcueid is now. What are you... I can't say that I intend to. I know exactly what she was going to do. I didn't need to put it into words. What was being released from Arcueid was murderous intent, without a single spark of cloudiness. Hey, what are you thinking? You... Arcueid did not answer. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw a nondescript man in a suit walking by. Shiki, take off your glasses and take a look at that human. By that person, you mean that man in front of me? Come on, if you want to know what I'm doing, you can ask me later. I don't really want to see it on the street, but... I take off my glasses. Huh? Lightheadedness in the temples. In exchange for the pain, I can see the lines on the ground and walls. Just so I'm clear, do you see your lines more clearly in living things? Oh, it looks more certain that way. I'm sure you do. You are living beings, so you cannot understand the death of minerals. We can see the formal result of the category of wear, but we cannot see the end for the minerals. In order to do so, we need to have the same perspective and the same sense of values as they do. Because in order to see death, you have to understand life. And while I'm at it, how does that person look to you now, Shiki? I don't think it's any different than any other time. Or is it? I pulled my legs back. It's that thing. It's true that every human being has a line. But they are only countable, like a slow-moving geometric pattern. And yet, what is that thing? There are lines running through his body. I can't even see what the man looks like because he's covered in lines that appear like vein arteries. I feel like I'm going to throw up. It's the opposite in that one. It's not that humans have a death ray, it's just that the death ray is in the shape of a human being. How do I look to you? As for me, I want you to look like a normal person. I can't answer Arcueid's words. That's all I can do to hold back the nausea now. Yes. It's a shame that Shiki can see death in that thing too. Oh, it's something different than normal, but I can see the line. I knew it. You can even kill the dead, can't you? It doesn't even matter if it has a life or not. It will stop anything that is moving and can be destroyed. You're the one who's really a monster. Yeah. As you can see, it's not human anymore. I'm a vampire who continues to cover my debt of death with the blood of others. Arcueid quickens her pace. It's in a straight line towards the man who seemed to be everywhere. Hey, Arcueid! Shiki, stay where you are. The man must have noticed Arcueid because he instantly disappeared from my sight. He leapt from the spot with inhuman speed. The man runs away into the darkness under the elevated train tracks to hide his appearance. Arcueid was already gone. As the rusty lights illuminated the room, she too entered the darkness where no human eyes could see. Dukun. The sound of my heartbeat sounded awfully close to me. It was still early in the evening. The headlights of passing cars. The sound of a train passing overhead. Even though I was in the middle of all that noise, I couldn't feel any other people's presence at all. Dukun. Glasses. I need to put my glasses back on and fast. If you don't, you will see something disgusting. You'll be looking into the abyss where what you've been seeing is just a doorway. Dukun. But I can't move my body. The naked eye, looking at the world full of splintered edges, gazes through the darkness at the black cave that Arcueid entered, as if fascinated. Suddenly, the sound disappeared. And the sound of the wind. And the smell of soil. Everything froze in place. Under the moon at absolute zero. Out of the corner of my eye, I hear a strange sound. Go. You can't see it. I can't hear a sound. Jesus, what did he see? Zaboo. And yet, I saw it. These eyes confirm the sound of death colliding with death. My vision is red. Why are my eyes seeing the death of something that should be invisible? Glasses. If I don't wear glasses, I can't get my head around it. I put my glasses back on with shaking hands, fighting the feeling of vomiting that was rising in my throat. Sound and light return. If you look around carefully, there is nothing unusual under the elevated lines. Although there were no people and few cars, this was still a normal city at night. There is no danger. There shouldn't be. It's a civilized area inhabited by humans. I can't breathe well. Even with my glasses on, I could still see the death in the corner of my eye, and it was weird. Arcueid? Arcueid came out of the darkness, even more breathless and sluggish than I was. Shiki? Oh, I didn't know you were still around. Turning her face away awkwardly, Arcueid wavers and slips past me. Her gait was as weak as a sick man's. To be honest, I haven't gotten over the nausea yet either. But that didn't matter when I saw Arcueid in such a painful state. Wait, what the hell is wrong with you? I grabbed Arcueid by the shoulders as she tried to walk away. Arcueid turned around slowly, her eyes vacant. I'm fine. I'm just a little tired. Don't mind me. It has nothing to do with Shiki at all. Idiot, if you're tired, get some rest. You're sweating like crazy, and by all accounts, you're seriously injured. Huffing and panting, I grab Arcueid's arm. What? I'm not sure what to make of it. I'm just anemic, that's all. If you can afford to care about others, you should care about your own body. It's okay. It's no use worrying about it anyway. Arcueid's breathing was really sadly weak. No way. You're the one with the scar. I couldn't ask her if she was still healing. Because that's the scar you got from defending me. Arcueid remained downcast and did not answer. I think that is an affirmation, not a denial. Oh my god, how many times do I have to tell you, you idiot? Can't you be mature with a body like that? I'm trying to be quiet, though. I'm not at all. Just because you're not human doesn't mean you're not fully healed. I found myself seriously angry and painfully aware of it. I can't leave her alone. I knew I couldn't leave this inexplicably troublesome woman alone. What the hell are you really doing? Hey, don't be quiet. Answer me. I'm not leaving you until you tell me. I grasped her white shoulders. Arcueid looked down and seemed to nod faintly. You are rather persistent, aren't you? Okay, let's change places then. In any case, it looks like the last one was a bust too. Arcueid brushes my arm away and turns on her heel. The destination didn't seem to be downtown, but a deserted park. Yep, back to the park again. I think this might be the scene where she tries to suck our blood. It might be this scene or maybe sometime later. I came back to the park. Arcueid had recovered from the walk and was back to her old self. You're easily back to normal. Are you sure you didn't just let your guard down and get hurt earlier? What? No, I'm telling you, the wound is healing. So, it's still mending, huh? That means you said some things that weren't true, right? What are you talking about? It's so disgusting. Your words and actions are too suspicious. If you have a problem with that, tell me what you were doing earlier. I know it's pretty predictable, but what were you in such pain about? Well, then I'll tell you what I've been doing, as Shiki wanted. I was blatantly sidetracked by. But, well, that's what I really wanted to know more about. I'll ask Arcueid about her condition later. Well, let me start with a confirmation. That guy back there, he's a vampire hand and foot, a dead man, right? That's your real enemy, isn't it? What a surprise. You're talking fast this time, Shiki. Thanks for that. I've got a bit of a head start myself. I've got a pretty good idea of what's going on. Yes, good. So Shiki's only cute misconceptions are about Vlav. Don't call it cute. I can't help it. I had my hands full with myself at the time. You got your hands full with yourself, huh? Well, let's just leave it at that. I'm not sure what the fun is, but Arcueid turns and peers into my face. It's really uncomfortable. Just talk. The guy from earlier is long gone, isn't he? That's right. I only got rid of it because it was his servant. They were lower class dead, but still, if left alone, they would kill humans and store up their power. Shiki, do you remember that vampire story we talked about at the hotel? I nodded back, of course. Vampire ecology. Relationship between the lord of the castle and his subordinates. The vampire who becomes a parent attacks and kills humans, creates servants called the dead, then leaves the servants to collect the blood and hides himself. Arcueid referred to these vampires as castle lords, or old-school vampires. A stereotypical vampire is immortal and vulnerable to sunlight. I've already been taught that. So you're sure that the enemy you're after is the vampire who killed those people? Yeah, I'm sure. Even if he only had a hand in the first one, all the murders of the dead that resulted from it would be his achievement. So, I was walking around the city like before, looking for vampire servants. So you can find out where the parents are. If the servant is strongly attached to the parent, yes, but so far, all I've found are the wrong ones. Coffin. I can't find where the enemy is hiding because they're using so many dead people. He only has to get his hands dirty a few times, and then he can manipulate the dead people to expand his territory while he sleeps. The number of casualties in the city are over 100. The victims you're screaming about are just a fraction of the people who disappeared without being seen. Once again, hearing that fact makes my blood freeze. 2 days ago, I thought that Vlav was the source of the problem. So this feeling was directed only at killing the enemy. It was the only thing that kept my mind in balance. But now it's different. The case is still open. More than 100 people were killed. People who were attacked, drained of blood, and killed by things that were once the same people. And the blood-sucking victims have become new monsters, roaming the streets as moving corpses, just like the massive lines we saw earlier. 3 days ago. It reminded me of the people staying in the hotel who were killed off. I was in that hotel, but I didn't see the crucial moment. So I could only imagine it in words and cannot feel firsthand how horrific the violence was. It's the same now. It's hard to realize that there are vampires that suck human blood and that they are slowly expanding their territory. Just... what would I think if someone close to me was killed like that, without any reason or warning? Only slightly, only understanding that it is immoral to imagine it. I imagine Akiha being sucked out of her blood and thrown away like a piece of trash. Well, I don't think she would go down that easily, I'll just say that. The dizziness that seemed to be grinding away at my brain was overcome by the exhaust. The heart that should have been indignant was strangely cold. Now is the time to think instead of tremble, I tell myself. Recognize a situation where such an event could happen tomorrow. It was only after that that I could blame myself for my own helplessness and cowardice in not realizing the danger. You're still angry, Shiki. The reason I didn't want to tell you this is because it's too much for the Predator. Because to Shiki, the actions of a vampire would be unacceptable. I suppose that's true. I don't know whether to talk about good or evil, forgiveness or not. The only thing I was sure of was that it was unacceptable. Even if you don't know the face of a person, that person has the weight that they have lived up to. There is a vision that is proportional to that weight. Even if it's something I don't know, something I don't understand, it's not so light that it can be easily dismissed. I don't want to be killed in a playful mood like that either. That's too regrettable. It's too regrettable. That's just too pointless. But don't worry, Shiki. It seems that the natural enemy of vampires is not in this country, but I am here now. I told you, didn't I? I told you that my goal is to exterminate the vampires that are invading the city. Where had the indifferent atmosphere of earlier gone? Arcueid had changed completely and became cheerful. Honestly, that statement is encouraging. I know how great this girl is and how many lives she's saved. It was Arcueid who prevented the cold wave at Vlav without even looking out for herself. But that's why some things don't add up. It was a natural human question that I had even before I fought Vlav. I can't figure it out. Arcueid is a vampire too, right? Why would you act like you're on the side of humans? I'm not on the side of humans. I'm only doing it because there's nothing else to do. Other than that, there's nothing else to do. Well, I guess that's why I'm being targeted. It's like a necessary expense. No, I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm pretty sure that's the only metaphor that's wrong. Well, don't worry about the details. I was such a hot commodity, full of hate, but Shiki defeated Vlav, didn't he? Now there are no more obstacles. Well, except for the vampire that's still going around killing people. I'll find the enemy lurking in the city and take care of them. Shiki, you can go back to your normal life and you don't have to deal with it. Oh, yeah, that's great, but... But are you sure you want to be alone? These words popped into my mind and I shook my head. You're out of your mind. It's crazy to feel guilty about letting this one girl do something so dangerous. Shiki, what's with the difficult look on your face again? That's all Shiki wants to hear, right? I don't think there's anything else. No, I have a lot of other questions I want to ask you, but for now. Idiot. It's a difficult look. This is a problem for the city we live in. So don't worry about it. From now on, I'm going to look around the city every day and make sure there are no more casualties. Or do you not trust my performance that much? Yeah, I don't want any part of it either. But that line. The words "protect the city" should be uttered not by Arcueid, but by me, who lives in the city. Arcueid. Well, is your enemy, as you call it, strong? More than Vlav? No way, Vlav is one of the ancestors, even though he looks like that. The vampires that have nested in the city are less pure than Vlav. I see. Then you won't get hit, will you? I can't say for sure. I think I would have been fine a while ago, but now I'm sick, and it's more likely that the enemy has more power than I do. Well, I mean, after you say that, how can you expect us not to want to help you out? I nodded my head at the familiar words. Sick. So Arcueid is sick. No. I mean, do vampires catch colds? Yeah, one hell of a savage street thief. I don't know if you've heard of this vicious virus called Tonoshiki. Oh, no, it's that... I'm sorry. It was a snake. I'm kidding. Shiki's wound is already healed. It's just that I'm a little tired from using more strength than expected to heal. The one that hurts is the wound I got from Vlav. This one is just still blocking the outside. Arcueid lightly touches her abdomen. And that scar. It's just an extra scratch you got from covering for me. There are no words. I'm the reason for all of Arcueid's woes. Because... why does this girl smile so vulnerably at me, without even a hint of resentment? Why don't you at least take a break somewhere until your wounds heal? A day or two of rest won't make a difference now. No, I'm sure the enemy knows I'm here because of my fight with Vlav. If I rest, it will be like letting them know I'm weak. Does that mean you're going to continue to mimic what you did tonight? Yes, as long as we don't know where the enemy is, we have no choice but to destroy the dead who are feeding him. If you cut off the source of blood, the main body will appear to suck the blood directly. What if it's tomorrow? If you hide the fact that you're weak, it's like they're trying to kill you with that body, then... I looked down at my face, about to say, don't push it. Arcueid was right. If you show such weakness, your enemies will come with all hands to kill you. More than anything, I know what those 2 days have taught me. In battle, Arcueid is thoroughly serious, but a strategy that will surely defeat your enemy. This girl prioritizes the achievement of her goals above all else. She will not cheat herself in the process. Arcueid is unstoppable. If we let it go, we won't be able to talk to each other like this. She's not afraid of her own death to the point of being mad. Why are you smiling when it's... If only I hadn't seen her face. If only she had acted more like a vampire, I wouldn't be feeling this way. What's wrong, Shiki? Your body is shaking. Do you need to go to the toilet? Why are you so... There's no tension. I lifted my face from my prone position. In front of me, there is a white woman. You can't pretend that didn't happen. I don't know what kind of emotion this is. It's just that the 2 days I spent with this girl are not something I'll ever forget. So, to regret over and over again, like an idiot, that you might be dead tomorrow night if you leave here and now, I'm sure it's very painful. I can't believe I'm doing this. I've got 2 broken eyes and I'm not about to break my head. I don't want anything to do with vampires anymore. It reminds me of my fight with Vlav. That alone sends a chill down my spine. The fear of being one step closer to being killed is still there. It's the same. This time, the other person is not sane either. There's no need for me to get involved at all. Arcueid says she'll take care of it, so we'll leave it to her. Even though I know the reasoning to that point, still, I can't seem to leave this girl alone. Oh my god, what's wrong with me? I kicked the ground with a thud. I'm harassed by my inability to accept any kind of logic or persuasion. What's wrong? What's the matter, Shiki? You're getting angry all of a sudden. That makes me angry. Why am I going to say this crap after all that I've been through? When I said it, I started to feel even more dizzy. I'm such an idiot. If I had a mirror, I'd definitely smash it. Whoa, slow down. You're not normal. Yeah, it's not normal. If you weren't normal, you wouldn't be able to say something like this. Damn. I scratched my head in abhorrence. I hate to admit it, but it's a done deal. Because now, I've admitted it with my own mouth. I don't know what's going on. Explain it to me. You've been doing this and that for a while now, but what's this all about? So, I'm going to help you until your body heals. That's what I'm trying to say. What? Arcueid looks at me with a stunned expression. This one is finally, or rather, barely. Anyway, I said what I wanted to say clearly and finally felt calm. Shiki, are you sure about that? I groan. I still can't believe it either. I'm sorry, I missed something. Please say it again. I groaned. But even if I regret it, it's too late. Once I said the words, I couldn't even lie to myself anymore. Hurry up, I want to hear that line again. Arcueid demands in a whisper. I averted my gaze from her flowery smile and tried my best to sound as unhappy as possible. Because it's my fault that Arcueid is weak, and I can't leave the monster that's infesting the city alone. You're too weak to rely on me alone, so I said I'll help you if I could. Shiki! Arcueid's eyes lit up. She then grabbed my hand and shook it up and down in a happy manner. Well, I won't be much help, but it's better than nothing. Yes, if Shiki can help me, there's nothing to be afraid of. Arcueid still hadn't let go of my hand. I was afraid that if I was swung around by this girl's foolishness, I might eventually slip out, but I just couldn't bring myself to stop. What can I say? She really was smiling happily. So just like that, I accepted with a bit of pride that this ridiculous choice was not a mistake. So now I guess we're officially helping her out. When I shook hands with Arcueid and was released from what some would say was just a one-sided grip, the time was approaching 9 o'clock in the evening. My head hurts when I think about what I'll do when I get back, but now that I've decided to help, I can't leave yet tonight. This is where the vampire extermination starts all over again. So, what do we do now? We're still going to walk the streets and look for the dead? That's right. If we annihilate the dead in this city, the vampires of the parent base will be forced to come out. It's the only thing I can do right now. Do you still mind? Arcueid asks with a look. I don't care. I'm just going along with Arcueid. Arcueid is now watching me with a smirk on her face. What the hell? Did I say something funny? Yeah, probably the thing about rice cakes. Yes, Shiki, you're so honest. Let's be more violent from now on. I have a feeling that if I let this girl get carried away, she'll make another ridiculous request. Let's go. We can go around the city. Do you want to check under the elevated train tracks again? No, I'm done with that area. The dead don't feed off of each other, and they have their own route of operations so as not to concentrate the number of victims in one section. There is a fixed number of dead people to be fed in a night. I think we're done here for tonight. But now that Shiki is here, let's explore some more. But you just said we're done, but now she's like, let's go explore some more. What are we going to explore? I thought it would be more indiscriminate. For the vampires of the parent group, collecting blood is not a pastime. It is a necessary task for survival, a job. Routine work is good for them. Valuable labor, huh? But doesn't that mean they'll do something about it? Arcueid is reducing their numbers, so from here on out, they can increase their numbers, or they can retract the dead and disappear. I guess I'm basically a reluctant person. However, as a vampire, I need to exploit the blood of others to survive. Even though the vampire knew I was after them, they had no choice but to kill in order to get the least amount of food. I see. So what Arcueid was doing was feeding the troops. It's hard to find a parent sleeping somewhere in the city. So we don't seek them out, we smoke them out. Parents who are cut off from the source of labor and sustenance they need to survive are ultimately forced to act on their own. As long as they start moving, Arcueid can sense the vampire's presence. That's where the vampire slaying comes in. We can destroy the source of this incident head on, just like we did when we killed Vlav. I understand the situation. I guess we'll just have to walk around the city at night and find the dead still active. Yes, so Shiki, you need to take off your glasses and follow me, okay? Take off my glasses? Why? Because it's more reliable. I can sense the presence of both humans and non-humans. You can read the difference between the living and the dead as visual information. More ways to spot is always better, right? I agree with Arcueid's explanation. We're the ones who said we'd cooperate, and there's no reason to refuse. But to take off my glasses and act, it's going to put a lot of strain on your body. But it's a good opportunity, and I just want to go over it one more time. If Shiki decides it's okay, take off your glasses and follow me. Take off your glasses and walk the streets, huh? In the 7 years since I got these glasses, I've never tried anything like that. Just looking at things gives me a headache, and I can easily imagine what would happen if I walked around the city in that state. And yet, it's okay. It's just a headache. Compared to the pain Arcueid was enduring, it was nothing to worry about. Fine, I'll take off my glasses and follow you. It's a small price to pay if that's what it takes to get you out of here. Yes, then let's go. I took one deep breath, took off my glasses, and started walking toward the city. Man, I'll bet Shiki's gonna get a splitting headache by the time this is over. I go through the crowd, shoulder to shoulder with Arcueid. I hadn't walked through a landscape full of lines like this since I was in the hospital. I'm not dizzy at the moment. Apparently, if you just look at it, you won't get so many headaches. However, every time I see a human line walking down the street instead of a thin line on a building, I feel sick. I can't help but feel disgusted first. It's not people with graffiti all over their bodies that's creepy. It's just nauseating to be reminded that we are so easily killed. Walking through the city at night. Arcueid said nothing, but continued on her way without hesitation, as if she had a destination in mind. We spent 2 hours going around the main places in front of the station. In the end, I couldn't find a single person with an abnormal line inside. Well, kind of reminds me of just patrolling around the streets in Fate's Day Night, looking for servants. Shiki, you can wear your glasses. After all, it seems there are no more dead tonight. I put on my glasses. I patted my chest in relief as my vision returned to a healthy one. Can we just give up on them so easily? I've only been around the city once. No, one look around is enough. Signs are supposed to stay in a place for a while, but there was no sign of the dead anywhere in the city. Maybe the last of the dead to get food was earlier. From here, we'll go on to crush the dead one step higher. You look grumpy, Arcueid. Of course, it's only natural. Oh, no, I was trying to show off my good looks. It's kind of annoying to be put in a bad mood for that reason. Well, I don't care if it's a waste of time. If you're that unhappy, you can go around town again. If I focus my attention on it this time, maybe we'll find something. No, I can't put you through any more tonight. No? What do you mean you can't? I'm not saying I can't. He's doing it. Shiki doesn't realize it. You look so pale even now. Come on, sit on the bench. It'll make you feel a little better, won't it? Look, she said, pushing me to the bench. Well, to be honest, I was one step away from throwing up, and I sat down anyway. Oh. I was so comfortable that my voice leaked out. The tension was released by sitting down, or perhaps the fatigue that had accumulated came all at once. The fact that I felt good even though my shoulders were heavier was proof that I had been pushing myself too hard. Thank you for your help. But this is mild compared to the headaches I've had. It's not as dangerous as the dizziness that keeps you awake. I took a deep breath and rested for a while, and the nausea subsided. It's nothing compared to Arcueid's scars. So don't worry about it. Arcueid? Don't be too hard on yourself, you weak creature. If you don't faint, it's mild, you're wrong. There's no such thing as light or heavy in your eyes. Don't try to see what you can't see very well. You'll cripple your brain if you strain it too much. Crippled? Who? You're the one. How can you be so insecure? You're a pacifist with such a rare magical eye, and you're nothing but a tasty prey. I don't know how you've managed to survive all this time, but I could just snatch you up and eat you normally. That's normal in any country. I mean, please don't underestimate one of the most law-abiding countries in the world. Is it really a great thing that we can maintain such a high level of security, even if people say we're lacking in peace? Okay, I didn't want to say too much, but I'll explain it to you. Can I? Shiki said that it's easy to see the death of living things, but hard to see the death of minerals, right? It is, after all, a matter of your brain's circuitry. The death of things, seeing the cause and effect is actually more like reading it, not seeing it. There is a cause, an absolute one, that is the basis of all events. Maybe she's talking about the root of all things. This is the beginning and the end of the universe. Yeah, she's talking about the root. There is something that records everything. It can't be called information because it's not a record. It's just something that exists. It just is. It does not have a will of its own, nor does it have a direction. It's like a vortex of roots, just pouring out causes. Everything that exists in this universe flowed from that vortex, derived from it, and ended up in its current form. I, Shiki, vampires, and humans are all just atoms that started there. Has become too distant and too complicated to go back to the beginning of the cause. But you can see that there is such a one anyway, can't you? But no matter how far we are from the main idea, as long as we are derived from it, we are connected by a very thin thread. A record of the source of everything, the beginning and end of everything. Anything that is connected to that is knowing the end of things. The brain of higher animals is capable of receiving and transmitting, but in most humans, the line is closed only to themselves. Most of us have closed the line only to ourselves, but some of us have a potentially open line. People who are not using any magic circuits and are not even a transcendent species, but are capable of supernatural phenomena. This is what the sorcerers classify as psychic.
He is a human, but a mutant who was born with some sort of magical circuitry itself. For example, a person who has not learned any mysteries but can see the death of things. So basically what she was trying to say is that Shiki's power is connected in some way to the root. Or it's something derived from the root. No, I'm sorry, Arcueid. It's a great story, but my brain hasn't been able to keep up with it at all. Don't worry, you don't have to understand. What I would like to say is that you should not try to see things that are too difficult to see. I can say for sure because I can't see, but I'm pretty sure that what you're seeing isn't just lines. I'm sure you can not only see the line, but also the point, the base point of the line. Yeah, the point of death, I think. You're absolutely right. Sometimes it seems that there are only lines, but if you look hard enough, you can see dots. In fact, at the last moment with Vlav, there was a whirlpool of dots on his body. In retrospect, it wasn't just at Vlav. Most of the time I would lose consciousness from phantom pains that would slash my brainstem, but there was definitely a point. Yes. When I killed you, I could see the dots. There were several of them, and the lines were flowing like dots connecting dots. To use a metaphor, it's like a blood vessel. If a line is a blood vessel, then the point is something that produces that blood vessel. I guess it's the easy line to the death of things and their death, that's it. I think Shiki could even see the death of minerals if he wanted to, but to do so, the brain opens a line from the biological category to the mineral category, and tries to learn about the death of minerals. That's an exercise that's not supposed to happen. The brain will overload and Shiki will definitely be useless. So basically, if he tries to do that, he'll become a vegetable. Become useless, huh? Does that mean that my eyes will stop seeing death? No way. Hey, Shiki, what happens to an engine that has been recklessly overblown? It's going to junk. Once an engine is seized, it's useless again. Oh, that's right. In other words, was the headache of watching death the same as the engine screaming at you for going too fast? Do you understand? If you're just seeing things, there's no problem. But if you try to see what you can't see, at the most, keep it to bursting blood vessels and stressing the brain. If you go beyond that, you may end up turning into stone while still alive. I have to thank the sorcerer who made those glasses for you. Most psychics use their power without knowing how dangerous they are, and end up crippling themselves. Well, maybe I'm happier that way because I'm an existential misfit who is human but can't live in a human society. And apparently, that's why I'm here. I'll get you back to your old life. That's what teacher said, and she made these glasses for me. I have so much to be thankful for. That person, in so many ways, had saved the current Shiki Tono on that day 7 years ago. By the way... Oh god, don't get in our face like that. Whoa! While I was deeply moved, Arcueid peeked at me from the side. That's bad for my heart. After a good story, you should at least pay a little attention to it. What the hell? I'm not giving you my glasses again. No, I don't mean that. What do we do now? It doesn't look like there are going to be any more dead, so shall we say goodbye here tonight? The time was 11 o'clock in the evening. The curfew at the Tono residence has long since been broken. Oh, well, talk to Arcueid some more. I should be going home. I feel like we should be going home, but let's see. Yeah, talk to Arcueid some more. Maybe we'll build up more affection points that way. Let's talk to Arcueid some more. I mean, you already broke curfew, so they're going to get on you anyway. As long as I have decided to kill vampires, there are still too many things I don't know. No, the nausea hasn't subsided yet, so I'm going to stay here until it does. In the meantime, I have some questions I want to ask you. We may not be able to patrol the city, but we can at least do that, can't we? Oh, really? I'm okay with it, but are you okay with it? Humans do get sleepy at night, don't they? It's okay. I've never been good at sleeping. If you're not good at it, does that mean you're an insomniac? No, I sleep fine. It's just that I don't like it. Do you ever dream? Dream? No. That kind of ambiguity, I don't know. Anyway, I'll stay with you until midnight. If you're tired of all the talking, I'll just leave. No, I'm not tired at all. I'd rather take it with all my might. Oh, I see. I'm jealous of your energy, but don't let it get out of control. No more punching through the ground or anything like that. There's no way I'm wasting my time. What do you think you're doing to me? What's wrong with you? Don't worry. That part's perfect. I'm not blurry. I think Arcueid is an overzealous vampire who can't take it easy. Now then, feel free to ask your questions. Okay, I want to know more about vampires. What is the 27th ancestor about the battle dress for the Battle of Love? Oh, well, we kind of knew the basics of that. Well, I did say earlier I was looking at a guide. The guide tells us that we should ask more about vampires. I still need to know about vampires. The vampires, the parent base, and the dead, the servants. Let's hear more about the relationship between the two. You're following me, aren't you? I'm sorry I'm so sober. You're the one who said everything starts from the basics. Well, that's a primate who builds pyramids using only human power. Solid and honest. Okay, so tonight we're going to have an intermediate vampire class, and we're going to talk about how vampire society works. This is a section I don't want to know too much about, but I'm the one who requested it. Let's listen to Dr. Arcueid quietly here. Dr. Arcueid. However, it would be too long to talk about its occurrence, so I'll just limit my discussion to our enemies, dead people. The majority of the dead are the older type of vampires, and their method of reproduction is to suck blood to increase their numbers. Do I even need to explain this to you? Yeah, lord and servant, right? It's one ruler and a bunch of worker ants, right? Oh no, here we go again. Yes, there are different kinds of worker ants. I've told you before, these ladders. The first rung is the dead. Unable to stand on their own, they are puppets that do as their parents command. Without orders, they are left as corpses to die. It's a lowly soldier. It's just a thing that has been fed blood and sent blood, one of those things we call the dead. Then the second rung, the corpse. A dead person who has a will, but is unable to think clearly, mimicking his or her life form. Although it's not decomposing due to the magical power of its parents, its contents have completely disintegrated. They are more violent than the dead of the first rung because their brains are rotting away and their instincts demand flesh and blood. If I had to guess, I'd say soldiers. This is also a dead person. Third ladder, immortality. I wonder if this is where I finally become a vampire, a creature that can be called a vampire. The living dead, the undead, although they do not have the ability to think as well as they did before they died, they can disguise their human life on their own. A senior soldier whose brain was reconstructed after he died. He's not afraid of sunlight, but if you don't embalm it often, it will reveal itself easily. So much for the category known as the dead. I see. Did that zombie, dead person have such a phase? The further up the ladder you go, the more you improve from a mere corpse to a moving corpse. By the way, I don't care about the hierarchy, but who named the dead and the wraiths? You? It's usually the work of the church. It's just that it's so convenient that it's become common knowledge in the magic world. The question is, who in the church spread it? Well, that doesn't matter. Oh god, did she really draw like a chibi version of herself? Next is the fourth rung, Night Division. An immortal who acts as an apprentice vampire while maintaining his prenatal personality. In exchange for his inhuman physical abilities, he suffers from extreme cold and thirst. A lowly knight, so to speak. A half-human vampire. With things on the sixth rung and above carefully and gradually suck the blood out of their prey. The victims start with the vampires on this rung. They will only become anemic when exposed to sunlight, but they will not be burned yet. In the world of magic, you can only be called human up to this rung. The vampire apprentice, I mean, isn't he already dead? Yes, vampires who have reached the fourth rung can live without their parents. From the parents' point of view, it's as if they've gone from being a thing to being a thing. From being a thing to being a thing. Only 1 in 1,000 can reach this rung of the ladder. Then the fifth rung, the Night Demon. In addition to the depth of the fourth ladder, the curse in their blood allows them to exhibit different abilities attributed to the parent group or individual. Senior Knight, full-fledged vampire. So the last rung of the sixth ladder, the Dead. Completely independent as a bloodsucker, they can have children through bloodsucking and erosion, but they cannot have children above the sixth rung. It's the limit to what you can achieve. If I had to guess, I'd say a citadel. The vampires that nest in this city are this rung. It's a disaster where they create servants as parents and prey on the village. That's the status quo in the Dead. Is there anything else that caught your attention? What rung of the ladder was Vlav on? Of course, the fourth rung, the Dead. In his case, he skipped a grade from there, but that's a story for another time. One more thing, this is the main topic. You said identity system, but who decides that? No, what? If vampires are going to suck blood and make more friends, why can't they just be this way? You've got a good point. That's the biggest drawback of the Dead, but I guess it's a feature. Not everyone who has their blood sucked by the Dead becomes a vampire, and the Dead don't turn anyone into a vampire. Making servants and eating are two different things. If they just sucked our blood, we'd die as humans. But then, when the blood of the Dead is sent to them, the humans are controlled by the Dead and die. After that, they are reborn as vampires and become cursed. The ladder represents the depth of the curse. So, the guy who was just killed didn't come back to life after being killed, but was killed by the parent group in order to turn him into a vampire. Yes, but it's not easy to have a servant. Vampires don't have an easy way to expand their family. If you are a dead person in the first rung, you can send your blood after killing to force yourself to become a soldier. But to increase the number of vampires above the second rung, you'll need the victim's own talent. Aptitude. Aptitude. Aptitude for what? Is immune enough to resist vampire blood? Most people don't have the aptitude. Most humans are not fit, so when they are fed vampire blood, they are easily dominated by the characteristics of the vampire. It's like a disease that makes you work even after you die. But that doesn't mean I can't call you a quality servant. As a parental figure, I need you to be independent on your own. If I had to spend my own time every time I moved a worker ant, that would be the end of the matter, wouldn't it? That's true. The parent vampire is usually said to sleep in a coffin. They say that vampires who have lived a long time are less fuel efficient, so they don't move often and need limbs to collect blood even if they don't consume any themselves. It's no good if every time you move a limb, it consumes your own power. A person with the aptitude can resist the vampire curse. After that, it's your own survival. Either he will die of vampire blood, or he will overcome this and be reborn as a vampire. The bodies that have been found in the city are of people who had the aptitude, but died outright. As a result, the bodies are just killed and left on the street. The dead start to move on their own after they are killed, but the bodies that don't become dead stay that way, right? Oh, yeah. When you're a zombie, there's no body left. That's what I mean. The victims in the news are rather rare cases. They were spotted because they had the right stuff, and they died as human beings. There is only one person in 100 who has the aptitude. Among them, only those who can adapt and endure the foreign substance sent to them will become vampires on the 4th rung or higher. It is often said that vampires are a pyramid scheme, but not everyone can have a child by sending blood. In fact, the number of what can be called vampires has been decreasing over time. You can't add to your family that easily, Arcueid said. For vampires, subordinate and child are probably different. The dead that Arcueid had just killed were nothing more than moving minions. So, the guy from earlier was killed a long time ago, and you were working for the vampires without even knowing it yourself? I don't know myself. That depends on the rung. If they are on the 1st rung, they're just automatons, but if they are on the 3rd rung, they understand what kind of creatures they have become and follow the vampires. They are willingly killing humans and sending their blood to the parent group. No, you're not. They kill you out of nowhere, and the next thing you know, you're a moving corpse. Of course they're forcing me to do that. There was a time before when the dead begged for their lives like that. If I disobeyed, I would be killed. I was just doing what I was ordered. In other words, you're killing people because you don't want to die. What's the difference between that and killing them willingly? No, it's... The dead who are still conscious will always complain that they have no freedom, that they had to do this. But they still have the freedom to die in defiance of the Lord, and yet, since they chose to kill humans, I think they're willingly killing people who were once their own kind. Well, I don't care, because I'm going to kill anyone who joins the dead anyway. There are no words. Arcueid's point is correct. It makes sense. But that's the logic of vampires, strong creatures. Humans can't live that right or that simple. And one more correction, even servants can disobey their parents. The vampires known as the dead have given their servants free will. They want to defy and challenge you one day. That's how Vlav was a vampire who killed his parents and became immortal. Okay, remember that, Shiki. Vampires are classified as mortals, and they love humans. No, I love the human side of things, so I can be as cruel as I want. Humans are the most, if not the only, creatures on this planet that can consume life in order to torment it. Humanistic. You mean intelligence, emotion. Arcueid said. She said that humans could not understand the death of minerals. In the same way, minerals and animals cannot understand human death. So the death of emotions and suffering of the spirit is a pastime only for people? You're leaving freedom behind to torment us. I don't get it. I don't know why vampires do what they do. It's too useless. It's too much of a hobby. I agree. I'll admit that vampires are in bad taste. But that's only for the dead. The ones that were vampires from the start don't do that often. Guessing that includes Arcueid? The one that was a vampire from the beginning? I remember you saying that there are two kinds of vampires. There are those who have been vampires from the beginning, and those who went from being human to being vampires. I'm not sure what to make of that. Well, yes. Some are immortalized by the end of their sorcery, while others have had their blood sucked by the true ancestors and become their servants. Shiki, you said earlier that it's in bad taste to use people you've killed, but it's still better than that. There are some dead people who invent even more incomprehensible games. By play, you mean killing humans for fun and using their corpses as toys? There's no denying it. For the dead, entertainment is the same as breathing. Although humans are a short-lived species, they are imperfectly close to immortality, and their greatest enemy is boredom. Unlike us, they originally became immortal without a purpose, but the moment they attained immortality, they lost all greed. I suppose it can't be helped, since the goal was immortality. What's that? Don't tell me that you're bored and want to play. That's a joke. If you're not going to get old and you're not going to die, that's good enough for you, isn't it? You don't need any other pleasure. So it's become enough for them. But that is not the point of existence. An intelligent entity that perceives itself as worthless, as a ceased life, will cease to be worthy of existence there. They feared that they were wearing themselves out and willingly decided to create entertainment. They were willing to create entertainment to defend themselves that they were alive and they still had something to look forward to. That's how the nobility got started. They started a game where they imitated humans, using themselves as lords of castles to expand their power. The kingdom of the dead, to put it bluntly, I guess was more exciting for them than I thought. I told you, didn't I? They're imitating humans. The mortals share their blood with the people they have sucked to death for entertainment. The corpse grows through the tens of thousands of odds and eventually kills its parents and becomes a new corpse itself. A knight becomes a sovereign through military prowess. Eventually, they will crash the king. They can't exist without playing those games. The lightness of the existence of demonic things, I guess. Even if you're immortal, if you have no reason to exist, you're no different from air. I feel like an idiot, Arcueid shrugged. Arcueid should be one of them, but she doesn't seem to have such a preference. Hey Arcueid, why haven't you sucked any blood? The hands of the clock point to the top. As we were talking, the appointed time of midnight had come. Well, the date is about to change. It's a waste of time, but you need to get some rest. I'd still be fine. That's just what Shiki thinks. Let's say goodbye here tonight. I'll see you tomorrow anyway. Arcueid moved away with dancing steps, looking at me. Tomorrow is... Wait a minute. What are we going to do about a meeting place or something? Hey! I'll be right here. I think around 10 o'clock would be a good time. Good night, Shiki. I'll see you here tomorrow. There's no time to stop. Waving happily, Arcueid left. No. I wanted to complain about how selfish she was, but I couldn't find the words. That expression is wrong. She's not a selfish girl. She's not that cute. Yeah, stop lying. What the hell is wrong with your face? What's wrong with your face? Really, it's too heinous. If she smiles at me like that, I'll never be able to break my promise. Waiting for us to get back to the mansion and for Akiha to chew us out about being late. Where were you, Nissan? I came back to the mansion. It was late at night, and the lights of the mansion were completely out. The front door was unlocked. Hisui, you kept it open. I let out a sigh of appreciation. I walked into the mansion unannounced so as not to wake Akiha, Kohaku, and the others. Oh. I took a breath and sat down on the bed. Just like she said, my body was tired as hell. I fall into bed as if sucked in. I lie back down and exhale heavily. My promise to Arcueid. For whatever reason, Tonoshiki has once again stepped into trouble. You can't blame me, I just couldn't leave it alone. Or did he not want to be left alone? That miraculous, beautiful, non-human creature. This is ridiculous. After killing her with my own hands once, what kind of bloodshed is this? The only reason I'm helping to exterminate vampires is for the good of the city. I'm only helping because I'm in harm's way. Yes, what else is there? I close my eyelids. I take off my glasses. I surrender to the drowsiness like a giant hand trying to drag my body and consciousness into deep darkness. Anyway, I'm going to be helping Arcueid again. Let's not think about anything else for now, and prepare for tomorrow.